record this. There we go. Okay, cool. I'm recording this.
Okay.
All right, so back into Pipedrive then. So this is basically our view. I typically now on a daily basis operate through here, our activity screen, and then we have a probably like a weekly or biweekly huddle, or twice a week.
You have to input all of these things.
Yeah. So let me show you from the very step by step. So if we have our Excel here, and then we have, let's say, our leads list on a split screen over here. We're calling the lead over here, put in the disposition. Let's say it was an X date. We're going to go to our Pipedrive, and it doesn't matter from what screen, but typically from the deal screen is where you want to do it. Add a deal, all right, and then you're putting most of their information is probably already on the lead sheet, but you're confirming this information, putting it all in. We have the stage. Obviously, this is an X date. This is for personal lines more than anything else. Once we save it, then we get a screen that looks like this. Okay. And so then this is the deal, right? So the organization or the person can be tied to multiple deals. So if you click them, you can actually look at the different deals that are open for that, either contract or, for the entity or the person.
So you can add like the work comp versus the GL versus, umbrella, whatnot.
Well, and what we do here is we'll keep the deal all conglomerated, so we can add products depending on what we've quoted, and we create these products. So we can create them through this tab right here, and that way we know what kind of products we're working on. So if we go back to that deal, for example, what we do is we have this jot form. Okay, so I'll show you what this form looks like. But what she did was she copied and pasted the answers to a lot of the initial questions. And then I actually went and had a meeting with them and stuff like that, and gathered all their deck sheets. So that jot form looks something like this. So jot form is just basically a tool that we use. It's mainly internal, but there's been times where my caller has successfully sent this to a prospect. They fill it out.
Yeah, did you create that in SurveyGizmo?
SurveyGizmo, I think you could do the same thing.
Yeah, so I just created a bunch of similar things for my staff so that way it's an easy info sheet.
Yeah. So
that way I get a PDF hard copy of it so we can save it all.
That's it. Yeah. So when I was showing
that was one of the big things I was going to ask you was, do you guys do this? Because I was racking my brain last night going, do I want to create 25 different new forms? But it makes sense to do it to a certain degree.
Yeah, exactly. And so here, what we do is we use this mainly as just a kind of like a starter. And a lot of this was built up with farmers quote systems first. But if you are attacking specific industries, you can copy this form and then change it to that specific industry with those specific industry questions there. But we usually leave this open for any specific notes we want to put in here or anything like that. If we have multiple locations, then I start listing stuff in here. But of course, I try to go and gather what I can from them as well, from 80 to 90% of our prospects anyways. So
I already see where you're going with all of this. This makes it so much easier.
Yes, exactly. Because Dave would be like, well, you take a notepad or you have a questionnaire, and I'm like, shit, bro, that's a lot. I'm just going to take my iPad and fill it out there.
Well, I'll fill it out there, and then if you have it set up where it emails to your staff, then they can already start inputting it into Pipedrive.
Exactly. So we'll get something like this, right? So let me show you this. We'll get something like this once it's submitted. And then what she'll do is,
exactly.
Yeah, she'll take and copy and paste this and put it in here just so we have all that information already sitting here. And then, of course, in this case, our normal process should be okay, we'll go and quote the business. So right now I have this as an overdue task because I haven't been able to catch up from stuff yesterday. But anyways, all your notes can be here. So let's look at one that was reset or about to close or something. If you have a certain membership level with Pipedrive, which ours is, you can look at it here. Where is it? Billing. This level, I think, is the gold or the second level. Yeah, it's $29 a seat. So we have 3 seats. So it's pretty inexpensive. The gold, that's what we have. So if we go back to that deal, for example, it ties into your email. And then as long as you have that person's email or your contact's email in here, it puts all that email conversation back and forth in here.
So that ties into your Outlook?
It ties into the actual email account itself. So how does that work? You would go into like settings, email integration, and I have my TWFG email tied to this. So it's an exchange account. It'll do the Gmail accounts.
That's what ours is. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I think the farmers one is hard. I don't think I was able to ever get that one to work.
We rarely use the farmers email.
Yeah, I do the same thing. So even when I was with farmers, I had my own server or whatever. So here you'll see everything connects, and then you can even like break it down. Like if you have specific activities you want to just look at or everything, does it in a timeline so you can see it, which is pretty powerful. If you have attachments to the emails, you don't have to go to that email and find it. You can actually open it up right here, which is really cool.
That's huge.
Yeah, so that's really helpful. When I finish proposals, sometimes if I didn't necessarily email them or whatever, we'll also drag and drop, so you can add the file directly in here. And I haven't seen anything about any kind of storage limit, so I have a shit ton of stuff stored in here.
And you can email directly from this too.
Yes, and then here's the other cool thing. So all of that is accessible right there.
On your phone, yeah.
On your phone, on the iPad, and I could pull up the same files and follow up stuff in there as well, so you'll see everything there. So it's really cool. So that was very powerful for us. And then of course, more importantly, we have that long-term communication with some stuff. So let me see if I can find an example for you. I'm sure there's some that have gone.
And how does it change from green to red to caution and all that stuff? Because you set up parameters for it, or?
So no, this is a standard with farmers. I mean, not with farmers, with Pipedrive. So if you have something that's due today, it's green.
But you create that due date though, right?
Yeah. So you'll see here, for example, Ruby has to make a call today at some point.
Yeah.
This is an X date. X date is in November. So we're trying to call now to see if we can get an opportunity to quote.
Yep.
And then of course, let's say once I go and meet with them and I get the information, or she set an appointment, she's dragging it and moving it here, or when you're in the deal, you would select that stage to make sure that the appointment was made and that kind of thing. So that way we know visually where we're at. So like right now, for example, we have about 21 deals totaling over 100K that we just need to follow up and close, get payment information from, because we've already delivered the proposal, we've already reviewed everything. So now it's just a decision time. And sometimes a follow-up appointment has to be made, and that's fine, but at least we know where it's at. So we have some there. You'll probably see some premium over here because these were ones where we didn't get to close and we just moved them right back over to the X date, like for example, this transportation one. Yep. So it was here, got all the way over here, and then they want us to X date and follow up next year. So okay, that's fine.
Okay.
So that's the cool thing. You have all the notes in there. I'm trying to think of what else was really powerful.
Where do your notes get saved though? Like, do you batch save them somewhere else again, or it's just always just going to be in Pipedrive? Or can you print? Could you print that if you needed to move it somewhere else? I guess, or
if you need to, there's an export. So you go settings. Yep. Where is it? Export data. You can do specific notes, organizations, or you can do all. You can do it in an Excel or a CSV form.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Also another thing Farmers doesn't let you do.
Yep.
Oh man. But anyways, so very, very powerful tool. I mean, for $87 a month, this is hugely useful for us.
How do you use it for personal?
Our database grows like crazy. So like right now, over I want to say 2 or 3 years since we've consistently been using this, we have almost 500 potential opportunities in here.
Yeah, and this is all your not closed deals. So when they close, do they go to a different CRM?
So when they closed, right? Typically, okay. So we would move them into this column, but because we also do sales tracking, when you click one, which actually records the sale and the premium and everything, then it disappears from the actual deals view. But I can still pull it up. So like for example, let's see. We just closed one last month. It was La Rueda. That was a auto shop or something. So you can still pull up the deal, but it shows one premium, all the notes, everything is still there.
Gotcha.
So that's the cool thing, is that everything is still there. But we have triggers with Active Campaigns. Do you know Active Campaign?
Yep. I haven't done it yet, but I kind of like what it does.
Yeah, so we have triggers that we use through Zapier that connects to ActiveCampaign. So when a stage gets moved to the sold column, so we have to do this, or we have to have a stage trigger, right, for that. They get hit with emails, 1 or 2 weeks after closing to try to get a review or to follow up and make sure we didn't miss anything, things like that. It's more effective, obviously, on the personal side, just because commercial, there's always that communication. But either way, we do it for both commercial and personal, and clients really like it. It helps us get a lot of reviews. I think we're at, in 7-8 months, we're at 50 reviews, Google reviews. So.
And that only works with ActiveCampaign. That doesn't work with the follow-up engine.
No. So the follow-up engine, like I said, I would say you would want to just basically rename or give it the nickname of being a conversation starter. That's what you should think of follow-up engine as. It's a conversation starter to get those leads to start responding to you.
Yep.
And then
you put them into ActiveCampaign once they're sold to keep them in the book.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Now, do you put campaigns together in ActiveCampaign for cross sells?
I can, but I haven't yet, only because I literally haven't had time.
No, sure.
I could probably take a weekend though and do it. It would just take a few hours, really. It's making sure that your copy in the emails is really effective more than anything else. But for now, what we do is, especially to keep our staff busy, is we'll just run like cross-sell campaigns, and they'll call, and usually pretty effective still. But emails and texts are still really useful as well. So that's basically a deeper dive into how we use the Pipedrive. And so here's where you can track stuff like this. So here I can even show you, like, for example, last month was a slower month, actually probably one of our slowest months. We did 70K last month. But this year, so far, we've done pretty damn good. Just shy of 800,000.
Yeah, I'd say so. And that includes commercial and personal, though, right?
Yeah. Right here, we do it. We're tracking it all together. But as you can see, our home insurance is where we're getting most of the deals coming from. I think I have another breakdown here where you can see this stuff. Let me see here. Deals. There's a report I want to get. Here we go.
And all the people that you have, all the 3 seats you have in there, they're all producers, not necessarily just CSRs, right?
Yeah, everybody can produce in this office. Actually, if I had to be like 100% honest, I think my caller gets more payment information from clients than I do.
Yeah.
She'll follow up and be like, all right, here's the deal. The agent already discussed it with you. Do you have any questions? No. Okay, you ready to move forward? Yep. All right, just need payment information.
Yeah. That's awesome. And then she just blocks out hours at a time to do the calls.
Yes. So what I'll do is, like, I'll schedule certain times to do things. And then, of course, I mean, honestly, her underlying task is always to be cold calling. Cold calling or ex-date calling. So she has a number of tasks that may include very light follow-up. So that's going to be some of these here. I'll do some of this as well. So we split that work. But eventually the goal would be to have someone that does all the continual communication, and she's only in charge of the initial or whatever, wherever people fit best. But for right now, it works for us. It keeps the production consistent.
It's a lot of money out on the table. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, man. It's like it's a good motivator every day. Definitely when we see a lot more in this column, because then it's like, all right, we just need to follow up and hit them hard and get it done.
Yep. And you're not do you sell life insurance at all anymore, or?
We do. I definitely obviously don't have someone over my back telling me, hey, sell more life, but definitely we still ask every client. We still attack it the same way. And the nice thing is that with confidence, at least with our setup, I can tell them, look, if you already have something, let's review it. I can almost guarantee you I can get you something better. Better pricing, better coverage, whatever it is that we're after, or to make sure that we're covering you right. And that usually gets us an opportunity to life. And then, of course, I'm sure you know how it works with farmers, but outside, man, we get paid like 100% commission. It's crazy.
I know, which is crazy. It's insane.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do that, honestly.
I think
I get
it's
it. They're
just
expecting them to stay. They're expecting them to stay longer than a year, so they're going to make.
Yeah, overall, it's overall profitability for sure. There's,
yeah,
you know, with farmers, I'm sure not all of their life profit stays in the life company, or their overhead is just higher. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, makes sense.
What else, so man? What other questions or what other things you think I can share with you?
So is there a website for this lead list provider, or is it just his name and email?
I literally call him or email him, and that's been my main method of contact.
Okay.
I think there is a website. Let's check it out.
Yeah, I just pulled it up.
Yeah, there you go. See, and their main, I guess, meat and potatoes is the mailing, but we just use it for calling. So you can pull email lists.
Okay.
So business, consumers. Mm-hmm.
And what do you pull from them?
So let me give you an example. I want to show you one that we recently pulled. Oh, there he is. Okay. So this is what my list looks like when I order from Peter. All right. We have the company name, address, city, state, zip code, mailing carrier route. So that's probably useful for some applications. Their location. So if they have more than one location, they try to get as much of that information on here.
Okay.
Let's see here. I'll skip some stuff. There's a lot of information. Phone number. Website address.
Any of these things for the call list, or?
This is everything that I give my staff, and then they use this information to their advantage. So, like for example, they'll usually ask for, "Hey, I'm looking for Ronnie Delau," or whoever's in charge of the insurance decision making for the business. Because not all of these are going to be actual decision makers, but it even says here who the potential owner, manager, or president is. So that's pretty powerful. It gives you employee count, employee range, sales estimation.
And is this, do you think all this is better because it's Texas, or would I have less in California, you think, or?
Oh, no, you can order these same lists and you'll have the same opportunities, same, yeah, because actually that contact, I got it from Dave Clayton, and I'm sure he uses
oh, really?
Peter a lot as well, or at least, Caldwell list in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, they even have their second addresses here. Let's see what else they have. Wow, they have square footage. Like, we obviously use different resources for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, interesting. Our main stuff is going to be there at the front of the list, though. But name, name of business, name of the owner, contact information, and then from there we have to confirm everything because some of that gets outdated or whatever is incorrect. So this is what our list looks like, and I used to when I was with farmers, and I only did it like once or twice. I would import this stuff because there was another easier way through Sims for her to track that. But then we came up with our own way and put it into Pipedrive, and it was way easier. But
that's crazy. I feel like I'm just doing stuff the wrong way, or just it's not on offense. It's always on reactionary. It seems like.
So how are you talking about, like their farmer systems or what?
Yeah, that, and just in general, like we're just waiting for business to come in as opposed to going after it like this. And that's.
Oh yeah. Well, I will tell you that.
We're mainly referral based at this point, so it's changing the model to go after these things.
Yeah. No, definitely, and I understand.
Harder.
If anything, I don't think I will ever stop this. These processes, just because of the volatility, of the potential volatility. Right?
Yeah.
But because of how we do business, also, like we grow pretty good. I think we can easily, do closer to maybe 200K a month. Sorry.
Okay.
But that personal touch, that relationship doesn't happen as effectively. I think, maybe 5, maybe 10% of our business has been closed without ever meeting the prospect.
Yeah.
But rarely.
Oh, with commercial, you have to meet them. That's a given.
Yeah. But we get some people that are just like, well, can't you just give me the quote over the phone? And if it's like something small, yeah, okay, that's fine. And if it's like over, a couple grand, we're like, no, we need to sit down and talk.
Yeah, you need to understand what you're buying.
Yeah.
No, but I need this for my landlord. Yeah, well, you need to understand what you're buying.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and that's another thing that's been nice. I mean, I don't know if you do it or if other agents do it really effectively. Like, luckily, our landlord owns about 60 properties in town. We're on the verge of insuring them. Haven't been able to break their relationship with a 40-year agent, but they have become a very good referral source for us. So whenever they have new tenants, we always get nice new businesses coming in for that as well.
Yeah. We've gotten a couple of those here and there, but not as much as I'd like, because those guys all get hit up, seems like, by everybody. Or if we do, we have a couple of big time commercial insurance or commercial realtors that are buying and selling properties, and sometimes our rates are just nowhere near a Hartford or a Travelers on some of the commercial real estate stuff. And even if it's $600-700 cheaper, I can try and sell it, but some of these guys they're cheap.
Oh yeah.
They don't see the benefit in any of it.
So a couple key things that I always ask, and sometimes it really puts them in an uncomfortable position, but also a more of an upfront position with how we discuss things, is I'll tell them what's going to be the deal breaker or deal maker with you. I mean, we're sitting here for a reason.
Yeah.
If we end up doing business, it's going to be because. And I'll get a wide range of answers. Obviously, price is definitely one of them, but not all the time.
Yep.
And so definitely digging down to that makes it easier to come back with why they should do business with you when you do have a proposal ready. And so that's why with Farmers we were so successful. So I was one of two. There's probably more different types of agents, but I was one of two different types of agents, and I was a submission machine. So we would close 25-30% of what was submitted, because majority of it would get declined or just not competitive with Farmers, or we would shop it out somewhere else once we could broker it.
Yep.
And then there's another agent in town that uses a lot of the same methods I do. He's with Farmers, but he does not do the same things I do, in a sense, because his closing ratio was like 90% or more. His submission ratio with Farmers. So let me get back to that. Let me backtrack. His submission quality with Farmers and how do I say this? Acceptance rate was like 90% or higher. So basically, he was just literally going for the specific things that Farmers wanted, try to get the best possible rate, and then sell the policy there. Now, he wouldn't always sell all of them, but his acceptance rate was much higher with Farmers. Mine was in the 20 to 30% range, because I would send him everything. I'd be like, look, this is in, your code comes up. I want to be able to write this. This is their business. And so sometimes he'd be like, sorry, can't do it. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll just go somewhere else. Give me the decline.
No,
so that's kind of how we do things now. I mean, like, if you're still looking at my screen share or my recording, you'll see here, like, this is like a cell phone refurbishing company, body shop, contractor, body shop, glass repair guy, body or auto repair, lube shop, air conditioning contractor. This is like a online coaching, so small online business coaching type thing. Auto repair, fence. He's basically like a fence contractor that leases fences for contractors. Wheel and tire guy, collision center. So we do everything. This guy installs the lifts and the ramps for buildings, vehicles, and things like that for easy access for wheelchairs.
Okay.
So party halls, do everything. Landscaper. So we do anything.
Those are all closed, essentially.
What's up?
And those ones are all closed, essentially, because you haven't.
Well, yeah, we're working on getting either payment information or getting a decision from these. Yes.
Yep.
That's right.
That's awesome. And now, but all the carriers that you can write all these things. So, I mean, even that caller, if it's something so off the wall, you still go after it, because you'll find something for them, or.
Yes, most of the time. And like what we're starting to find we're starting to push the limits of our limitations with TWFG and our range of opportunities, is that I'll see some of these agents that can write these contractors on like look, this is a general contractor, bro. I'm gonna show you this sheet.
Yeah.
They're with Cincinnati.
Okay.
But direct bill, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
These guys do like roofing and all this stuff, and they have like literally
like
a
farmers with. Well, you saw it with Craft Lake. We can do that now with BTIS.
Yeah, but see, once you get into like this size of things, like I don't know if they become very competitive because we can do BTIS as well.
Yeah.
Where they have basically
BTIS,
a direct bill type
crazy
quote.
cheap though.
Huh?
BTIS seems super cheap.
Yeah. Well, what I mean is,
I've never really had like
once they see risks of this size is what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Like I have a demolition contractor.
These guys pay like $50,000 for their GL BOP thing.
I've got a demolition contractor. All they do is they go in and demo the interior of a house before the contractor does the remodel.
Nice.
And it's like $5,000 direct bill, no big deal, and it issued within 7 hours.
Holy shit! I need to start looking more at BTIS.
Yeah, I was like, what? Makes no sense. and now we have the work comp side of it with it too with employers through Craft Lake. So I mean, I'm not getting 100% commission on it because Craft Lake's taking some of it, but.
Yeah, see, we have a direct way to write USLI through TWFG's and Hiscox, so we don't have like shared commissions or anything like that. We're making straight 15 to 18% on those, but these are nice. Like Victory is very common. I see that a lot.
Yeah, they're using Victory a lot now too.
Yeah, and see, we have direct. We can do.
Oh wow! So BTS has all these other places too. See, we only get their GL.
Oh yeah. And see, well, I mean, I'm just looking at their website. I don't know what products we have access to, but I know we do have access to them.
Yeah.
I'd have to look.
It's crazy cheap.
Interesting.
We wrote these guys as a carpenter. That's the class code they fell under.
Yeah. As a demo, guys?
Yeah.
Wow.
I laid it all out, and that's what their underwriter said. Yeah, this falls under because that's where their work comp fell under the state fund as well.
That's crazy.
Because they're new in business, so I couldn't even roll it. I can't even do the comp yet because they're too new in business. They wouldn't take it. They need to have 3 years of experience.
Yeah.
And that comp was like $28,000. I'm like, yeah, I want that one.
There you go. Get that comp, man.
Do you do a lot of comp or no?
I try to do it as much as possible in Texas, dude. I can't tell you how many businesses don't get it.
That's right, because it's optional. Makes no sense.
Well, they say it's optional. I tell them it's optional to get the policy. It is not optional to be responsible for your employee.
Yeah. I mean, that's the biggest pain point for all of our clients is how much work comp costs. I'm like, yeah, but you don't want the alternative. However, I've yet to see a major alternative,
Yeah.
I haven't had, knock on wood, I haven't had a huge claim where it's, royally affected somebody.
Yeah, no, I mean, like right now, this is just a prospect that we've been dealing with for the last maybe 10 days. They're with New Mexico Mutual, but these are their payrolls for their class codes. And the reason why they're with Mutual is because this is longshore trucking right here or whatever. So they do trucking, and they're 2 weeks without work comp. I'm assuming New Mexico Mutual dropped them. I don't know.
Okay.
Gonna have to look into that because we tried to shop it out with like Amwins and other carriers, and they all said no because of the risk.
The 2 week lapse.
Well,
not the lapse.
They also didn't have like really good loss ratios, like their rating or their EMR, whatever, was like 1.3 or something like that.
Wow.
Or maybe even closer to like 1.5. So they're paying like $40K. So I was like, hell yeah, I want that account.
Yeah. Okay, I think I got the gist of this for the most part. So the main thing is just getting the call lists, getting Pipedrive.
Getting the call list and then putting your active potential opportunities. So X dates or actual appointment setup. That's what ends up here. And the reason for that is to start building that database over time. And then, of course, these are deals, okay? So these are probably like active opportunities. when we go into, where is it, contacts and organizations, you're probably going to see a lot more. 1,269.
So this saves your contacts. Does it save emails for all? I mean, do you use your? I saw you had Mailchimp and all that. So, are you emailing these people or mailing these people at all?
Not right now. I those are really good ideas and stuff. We wanted to build out, for example, email sequences for lost deals, for things that just normal touches and stuff like that. If we lose the opportunity and it goes to next day, we want to be able to keep them on the hook, because we can always call them and they give us an okay, and normally we're pretty successful, but so that there's a little bit less work or they see us more often. Definitely useful with that. So yes, you can tie that to this.
And you would do all that through ActiveCampaign?
Yeah, ActiveCampaign is how I would tie it together. So like right now, we only use ActiveCampaign for what's it called, clients that we sign up, and then also client or prospects that we lost their business or lost as an opportunity to sign up. Let me see if I don't even remember what this is.
If you remember, I'm the same way.
FGDIS or something like that. No, I don't remember right now, but
no worries.
Basically we just have like 2 campaigns there, that one of them is a long-term drip, 1 or 2 years, and that's where we, if we lost them, we'll keep hitting them up with emails and opportunities to reconnect. And the other one is more like probably a 1-month follow-up sequence after signing them up, where we try to push for referrals, reviews, cross-sells. Did we miss anything? Make sure to sign your documents. I figured with farmers we had it pretty easy, and we kind of do even as an independent because we use DocuSign for everything. But
well, now we got it now too, apparently.
Well, right now I have like I think anywhere between 10 and 15 that are sitting there that people haven't freaking signed, so we have to follow up with them.
Oh yeah. And it just uploads the DocuSign and it shows them where they sign, or you have to highlight where they need to sign on everything.
Yeah. So when you set this up, so have you ever seen this?
Nope.
Okay. So when you set this up, let's see if I can. Let's do correct. Okay. So like if I wanted to change something on this one while it's still sitting and waiting for them to confirm it or get it done, you basically set up the recipients in the order that you want them to get them and what they're doing. Do they need to sign or just receive a copy? You put this in the body of the message until they get an email, and then these are the documents, and you can set up like their signature boxes. All right, so we want them signing here, and then of course my producer will sign here. Dates. Let's see, there's another one right here at the end of this too.
And then you get the final copy, and then you send that off to the carrier.
Yeah, the carrier if they need it, or we store it obviously in our AMS, so it's going to look something like this. Let's see here. DocuSign. So we'll get something like this, and we'll get all the individual documents like finalized. So it'll look like this.
It's crazy. So then your software management is not the cert now. That's a different one. That's just
we use something that's called Evo. And so we have ways to track everything here as well. We can add new prospects, do searches and stuff like that. Like that same one that we looked at earlier. Right here, you pull up their accounts. So it's not as visually appealing per se, but you've got all the information.
None of them are for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, there's like that's why I like Pipedrive is because it's so visual. I mean, now I'm used to operating in this screen anyways, but here it's nice because you can go back and look at, okay, this is where we're at and this is where we need to move things and do all that stuff. So it's pretty cool. And while you're right here on the screen, you can actually set up an activity right away. Also, you can set up
whoever that person is.
Sorry, go ahead.
And you can assign it to a certain person as well.
Yes. So if I'm scheduling an activity, who is it signed to? And then there's even cooler stuff like that I built into my Pipedrive myself, where let's say we've got this task and we mark it complete. it will automatically say, all right, where's the follow-up task? So someone won't do that, so I'll uncheck that. But you'll get automatic like setups for things that you want to do, and you can create all those workflows. So I haven't even used this to its, let's see.
Yeah. And do you get notifications from it all day long of stuff you need to do?
Yeah, you can do that. You can tie it to Zapier because we also use Slack, so we'll get messages on our phones and everywhere. There's this workflows thing or there we go, automation thing where you can, like I haven't used it too much, but you can literally do a lot of this stuff, you know, follow up, discuss next steps, don't miss out on tasks, create an automatic activity per stage so you don't forget important tasks. So like there's crazy amount of things here you can do.
But this is all mainly for sales things. It's not for service work at all, right?
You can actually turn this into service related stuff. So like what I would do eventually, we're probably going to do this. We're going to do some kind of like ticket system for service requests. We would have a new pipeline for service requests, and maybe stages would be something like service request received, service request reviewed, information follow up or whatever, waiting on resolution.
And then you can copy an email into that, no problem, and then that person can get assigned it.
Yep. Yeah. So, like for example, when our dot
and then we could copy if we had to, we could copy the notes into farmers' comments. So that way, it's there as well.
Yes. Yeah. You can do that. I mean, that's totally up to you and the way you work. I mean, with us, we translate these things as well. When it comes to service stuff, we usually just deal strictly with this system. But with selling, like that's all here on the front end, so we put that all here.
Yeah. Now, with the context, though, could you separate those? No, you couldn't. I don't think you can, could you? A service clients versus prospects? Does it transition the clients?
So, yeah, clients versus prospects?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can, but the easiest way to group them would be to have them in a different pipeline. Because like, let's say I create a new pipeline and I call this, you know, service, and I have these different stages. I don't have anything here because I'm not servicing anything yet, but once they start to come in, I'll put them in this pipeline, and it'll be a deal, right? So it'll still be sales like driven, but it'll be a deal that's active inside of my service pipeline, so I know it's a service thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because that client can also have a simultaneous sale going on, so they could be active in two different pipelines and stuff like that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Cool.
A lot of cool applications with this for sure.
Yeah, I think this is the way to go for sure, is the Pipedrive thing, and obviously the follow-up engine and active campaign. But
yes, the follow-up engine is powerful. I'll be honest, we don't use it too much, but for those that have dove deep into it, I mean, it works very well for them.
What was that again?
So we don't actually use it all that much, just because of how we
the follow-up engine you're talking about.
Yeah, but we've had to handle some trainings with it and stuff like that. Like just for our applications and how we work with, we actually most of our loan officers will actually pay for their own stuff. So what we do is and they'd rather deal with, like a lot of ours are like, well, we already have our CRM, it's fine, can we just do that? So I'd be like, okay, well then they pay for their own ad spend. We create their own Survey Gizmo setup, send stuff directly to them from their ads. We're not even really touching it. We just have basically records of how many leads they're getting and go from there.
So that's what you're using it for?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just to track, so that way you don't have to physically email the leads.
Yeah, we don't have to. So I do have what's it called, a one ad that's running for the accumulation of loan officers, and that one we run at anywhere between $10 and $20 a day. Those leads I'll send out to new potential loan officers to eventually get them on the hook. But my goal is to get them paying for their own
themselves.
Ad,
yeah. How easy is that conversation?
It's not hard when they've seen success or they've seen the value behind it. Because once again, you're helping them do something that most insurance agents aren't, which is building their database at a very rapid rate, whether they close deals or not initially. So that's where some of like the younger guys or the guys that are brand new and they need to be selling all the time, no matter what source they're getting it from. Obviously, if we can sell from every source, that'd be great. But we know that certain things are going to still be value driven in a long term. And that for us, for example, on the commercial side is going to be X dates. So for a loan officer, it's going to be that refi opportunity, that referral opportunity. And we're giving them that value from the get-go to potentially get a loan pre-qualified. But even if they don't, they have them now in their database forever.
If they're using a database like that, or if they're just too new.
Well, yeah, if they're smart, they better.
Well, that's my thing.
I know loan officers for a short amount of time, and they have thousands of people in there.
Oh no, totally. But I feel like I've sent a ton of deals so far, but I think it's just overwhelming to them to a certain degree as well. So
yes. So I mean, I don't know what Luis told you or what others have told you. I would say a good rule of thumb: if you're still doing like the paying for the ads and stuff like that, 3 to 5 leads a week per loan officer.
A week
is good. So if you're doing that per day for one, then you need to start getting more loan officers to spread the love.
And that's why I'm meeting with another one today.
yeah, that's how we do it, man. I think I meet with 1 or 2 loan officers
a day. Yeah, it's been about 6 a day that's coming in, but some of them are just crap. Some of them are, below 599 credit scores and all that,
I would so I would get a credit repair specialist in your ring or in your network. Just be like, hey, do you want for the off occasion where they're doing a credit repair for someone that wants to buy a house, they have an opportunity to refer an insurance potential over to you. But you also are trying to deliver value to these leads that are still coming in, so you need to do something with them. And just be like, well, now I have a credit repair specialist I can connect you with if you're interested in working on your credit.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. So let me I'll send you over that money I'll Venmo you here in just a few minutes here, but I think I'm good.
Sounds good, man. Well, like I said at the beginning of the session too, my goal is for you to really succeed. So if you want a follow-up call or anything like that, just hit me up, man. No problem. Okay. I want to make sure that definitely what I'm doing is of value for more than anything else, but also that you really start seeing some success out of it. Because if you go out and close out 1 or 2 commercial deals just off of some of the systems that I've helped you with or whatever, you're already winning. So.
Well, I think you guys pushing me to the Pipedrive thing alone is going to help, and just getting involved in some of this stuff. Like I've seen that guy Nick Ayers. He's on the group as well, but he does the YouTube stuff. I don't know if I have time for all that at this point.
And that's a big qualifier for any of these things, right? Like when we talk, cause I can sell the fully covered program. When I talk to people, if they tell me they don't have time for it, I don't even continue with the call because, for one, we don't want to waste their time, but 2, we don't want to waste our own time as well. It's like, hey, if you have somebody you want to take over this, great. Then now they'll have the time to do it. But if you don't, then
but I think that's a cop out too. I think they don't have time because they're wasting their time. Like this
a lot of people waste time, man. A lot of people waste time, dude.
Totally.
I feel like right now we're trying to run still super, super lean, and I'm okay with that because we don't really have people getting pissed off per se. But I know that we could probably easily be at least 50% to 100% more business, so double the business by having more people in. So I know next year is going to be even bigger just because of the systems we already have built out.
Well, I mean, how much business have you taken back from farmers, or are you not allowed to yet, or go after that?
I'm not allowed to, and it's funny that you asked that because they actually sued me.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. So I'm dealing with that, but no, I took maybe like 19 clients, and then when the lawsuit came up, my attorney was like, because I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. The clients were coming to me complaining first about their experience with the agent that took over. And they were like, well, can't you take care of me? I'm like, I have this non-compete, blah, blah. They're like, yeah, but it's my choice. I'm like, okay. I guess that kind of makes sense. All right, I'll help you out. But then, we go into the specifics, and the contract does say you can't accept clients. So, and it makes sense too, though, because they're paying me for the book value, but I'm still making commission on the back end. So anyways, since that happened, which was like a month ago, we've stopped doing that, but there's only like 4 more months left in my non-compete. So we have really strong relationships there. So I'm sure first quarter next year is going to be huge.
Yeah. There's been quite a few of you guys in Texas. I was kind of friends with that James, what was his last name?
James Jenkins.
Yeah. He was kind of rubbing me the wrong way, though. He's pretty arrogant.
Yeah, he's interesting, man. I mean, we've gone back and forth. I've helped him with some stuff. He's helped me with some stuff. But I'll see some of his posts or his videos. And I'm like, God damn.
Yeah.
How full of yourself can you be, man?
Right? I'm like, who does business with you if you
like I know I'm good, but like I said at the beginning of the video, like I'm extremely humble too. Like I think that there's definitely some stuff that you know that I don't, and vice versa. But it's all about what we can do to help each other out.
Yeah. Well, and same with like
talking to clients, I always talk to people that way, and I think that makes it more human rather than like, all right, totally. I'm badass and you need to do business with me.
Well, same with Todd McLean too with his MVP program. I'm like, you're pushing this program, and I don't see the need for it.
I did it for a while, man, and if that's what you're fully vested in, then yes, it works. It's good. It's worth the because I didn't think it was that expensive really, but after a while, and then of course nearing the time that I decided that I wasn't going to stay with farmers anyways, I kind of dropped it.
Yeah.
But I like one of my buddies. I think you might know him, Brad Derby in South Dakota.
Yep.
He uses it pretty efficiently. I don't know if he still does, but I know when he first did, man, everything was tracked, and it is a powerful system. The only unfortunate side is that it only works with farmer stuff. So.
Oh, really?
I mean, well, it really only works really well with how farmer systems work.
Gotcha.
But there are non-farmers agents that use the system, but it's mainly built out for farmers agencies.
Well, I can't get the full functionality. Like I can't get because California doesn't allow the DMV website to pull
that too. Yeah. So he's marketing.
I'm only getting
where you can't get the full functionality out of it too, and that hurts.
So I'm like, why am I going to pay for 60% of this when I'm not doing that many deals in a month unless you want me to start paying $3,000 for mailers like he's doing, and I'm not going to do that to, start implementing that type of thing. So it's going to take me 2 to 3 years before this thing gets built up where I'm cross-selling these people enough to get when their ticket falls off. I feel like it's a gimmick system.
I think like I can kind of get to where you're feeling like that. Here, wait, let me stop this recording. I don't even know how long it's going to.
Yeah.